It's hard to imagine these numbers not going up based off these patterns. So if those numbers are going up, then guess what else is going to go up? And that's that share price. My name is Adam and welcome back to Broke Man Finance. To buy Robinhood or not? That is the question a lot of investors are asking themselves right now after their recent IPO. Now, before you die on the hill of hating Robinhood, and trust me, I get it. I've made videos in the past about my disapproval with decisions they've made. But in all fairness, we have all made bad decisions that we wish we could take back. I know I have. Hello. But I want you to listen to this with an open mind and not from a place of emotion, because the stats that I'm getting ready to share with you are absolutely ridiculous. And yes, I know Robinhood screwed over a lot of people with the whole Gamestop and AMC debacle, although they were not the only ones to halt trading, but they still did anyway. So before you leave me a comment about having a moral high ground, listen, I agree with you 100% that was a terrible mistake on Robinhood's part, and their name is literally Robinhood. That's what they were supposed to be there for, was to give us a chance to make some money. But I'm not going to get off on a rant, but just understand that I'm on your side. But Robinhood didn't do worse than that debacle. In fact, it was one of the best times in the company's history, aside from the bad publicity. Yeah. In fact, it added $3.4 billion to its balance sheet during the GameStop short squeeze, and that was after suspending trades for a week. But in this video, we're going to look at some stats, pros and cons, and who else is piling into Robinhood stock. Like them or not, Robinhood absolutely changed the game when it comes to trading. You have to at least give them that. Prior to Robinhood, a lot of you may not remember, but we were paying $5 to $10 per trade. For all you newer investors, think about that for just a moment. Think about how much profit margin that's eating into. That's why we were so excited whenever Robinhood came alive back in 2015. And in that first year, Robinhood had approximately 500,000 users. By 2016, it doubled to 1 million, then doubled again to 2 million, then tripled to 6 million in 2018, 10 million in 2019, 2020 we had 13 million, and in 2021 we are at 18 million users. We are estimating that the current amount of users right now on Robinhood is closer to 20 million than 18 million now, and by the time we end 2021, we will most likely be well over 20 million users. That rate of growth is crazy, even with all the bashing and the hating that Robinhood has dealt with. Most of us probably remember when Robinhood went down on one of the best trading days ever, and some people lost a lot of money by not being able to trade that day. Although that's happened to every brokerage at some point or another, it just happened to be on the worst day possible for Robinhood. With all those issues and controversies, Robinhood is still cranking out users, and I see no slowing down anytime soon. People claim that Robinhood takes a video game-like approach to their app and the website, and I've really never understood that argument. So it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It doesn't look like an Excel spreadsheet. It's easy to navigate. Oh no, how terrible. It may not have crazy graphs and in-depth statistics like a lot of other platforms have, but let's be honest. How many out there are really breaking down these stats and these graphs and analyzing these candlestick patterns? For the average retail investor, Robinhood may just be a perfect platform, and that's why you see a lot of people sticking by them through the mistakes and actually attracting a lot more. But as users keep going up, so does the revenue. That first year of 2015, Robinhood was around 2.9 million in revenue, but then look at this explosion. The next year in 2016, 9.3 million. 2017, 21 million. 2018, 69 million. 2019, they hit 278 million. In 2020, they hit 959 million in revenue. From 2.9 million in 2015 to 900, almost $1 billion by 2020. Folks, those 2021 numbers are going to be even more impressive. Robinhood hit 522 million in the first 3 months of 2021. They will be well over $1 billion by the end of 2021. That is more than quadruple what they were at in the first 3 months last year alone. Think about that. If this was just another business or another company that was well known like a Robinhood, but without the controversies, we would be gobbling these shares up. Now look at their valuation numbers from 2017. In 2017, they were valued at $1.3 billion, 18, $5.6 billion, 19, $7 billion. 2020, it started to take off, $11.7 billion. In 2021, they were listed at $20 billion, but that $20 billion was pre-IPO. Now, the secondary shares have valued the company now at $40 billion. Think about that. 2017, the company was valued at $1.3 billion, and now they are looking at a $40 billion valuation. It's hard to imagine these numbers not going up based off these patterns. So if those numbers are going up, then guess what else is going to go up, and that's that share price. We could be looking at a dirt cheap price for Robinhood right now. And for those of you that are thinking that maybe Robinhood has peaked in terms of this valuation and the revenue, and that maybe we'll see a little more flatlining and maybe even some downtrending, let's take a look at some of their competitors and compare them between the assets under management. How much more room does Robinhood really have to grow? So Robinhood is around $80 billion in assets. Now E-Trade, one of their main competitors, $600 billion for E-Trade. TD Ameritrade is $1.3 trillion, and Charles Schwab, who I have an account with as well, is $3.8 trillion. Now, I'm not saying that Robinhood is going to catch Charles Schwab anytime soon, but what I am saying is that just shows how much more room there is to grow for a young company like Robinhood. Because of this growth rate, we could be looking at a totally different order of things in the next 20 years. There is no question that I think Robinhood will have, before 20 years, will have $1 trillion worth of assets under their management. Even with the controversy, they are no stranger to innovating and changing the game. So they've already dropped their margin down to 2.5%, which is already one of the lowest margin percentages out there. And if they can continue to innovate and do things that makes investors money, they'll continue to have people pile in, even from other brokerages. And now it's getting rumored that they could be dropping that margin percentage even lower. Now, the average age for a Robinhood user is 31, so pretty young. So this next figure does not surprise me very much, because most 31-year-olds, not all, don't have a lot of money left over at the end of the month or whenever their bill cycle is done, left over to invest. But as these folks grow older and these accounts mature even more, we could be looking at very different averages in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. The average account sizes go like this. Robinhood is looking at around a $3,500 average account size. E-Trade, their average is $100,000. TD Ameritrade, $110,000, and Charles Schwab, $240,000. Point being with those last two stats, just the potential of overall growth that Robinhood still has. They are nowhere near slowing down. And in fact, I think that rate of growth, we're going to see that thing continue to skyrocket, and we could be looking at some crazy numbers over the next decade. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Famed investor Cathie Wood, who we all know, just bought $45 million worth of Robinhood stock on opening day. That is approximately 1.3 million shares of Robinhood. This will be part of her ARK Innovation Fund, ARK-K. Now think about all those numbers. Think about that rate of growth. Think about that current share price. And think about 3 to 5 years from now. Do you think you're still going to be looking at the same share price or lower? I don't. I fully expect Robinhood to be well over $100 in the next 5 years. Plenty of companies have had their own share of controversies and mistakes, only to come out better on the other end. And I think Robinhood is no different. I think they're going to learn from their mistakes and they're going to get better. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Some may say naive, but I like positivity. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you are doing with Robinhood. As always, I hope those stocks go to the moon. I hope you stay safe, and we will see you next time.